I don't know if you guys peeped this, but there was an interview. Well, there was a lawsuit first, but there's also an interview, a Siggy Flicker interview. Did you guys catch this? I'm kind of hoping you did. All right. So Siggy Flicker, right? She went on All About the Real Housewives podcast, and she went on to give her first sort of tell-all as to what happened. Her side of the story, if you will, when she left the show. So her side of the story is she was bullied. She says this: when I was on the show with Margaret Josephs. They brought me on as her friend. I didn't know the woman. Look at her house. I wouldn't go in that house. She's never been in my kitchen, not in Long Island, not in Boca Raton, and not in New Jersey. So she's going in on this, and she's talking about how she loves Teresa, doesn't have a problem with Melissa. Jacqueline Larita is so authentic, and Margaret Josephs is the devil. She said that there was a moment during one of the seasons where her stepchildren came home and said, hey, we just want to let you know that we talked to mom. Mind you, her stepchildren's mother has unfortunately passed away. But they came home and said that their mom told them that Margaret reached out trying to dig up dirt. Now, Siggy Flicker ended up sharing in this podcast interview that when she found out that Margaret allegedly went to her stepchildren's mother, she had a long, hard conversation with her husband and her children, and she decided to walk away because she didn't know what Margaret or the stepmother, what they were going to bring out of the woodwork, like what was going to be used or weaponized against them going into the next season. Siggy said that she made the choice before going into her final reunion that she would not be returning because she did not enjoy her time on the show. And she actually went on to let us know a few more details, including a conversation that she had with Andy Cohen. All right. When she was speaking on the podcast, Siggy revealed that she distanced herself from castmates in part as a way to protect them. They have a job. When you're outing production like I did and you're taking a risk like me and speaking the truth, if you're still working with production and they see, oh, you still like Siggy Flicker, you're still hanging out with that rat who's outing us, those castmates are going to be afraid of what's going to happen to them in the editing room. According to Siggy, after leaving the show and exposing the allegedly hostile production team, Andy called her on the phone. He goes, I'm very sad that you didn't have a good experience. I'm going to say this. Bravo did everything under the sun to try to make me happy. There were phone calls daily, weekly. I was saying to them, I want this to be documented that I am being harassed by production. She added to that when it comes to her problem, her one main problem with Margaret Josephs. My problem was always with 3-4 producers who were having dinner and hanging out with certain housewives, and no one would call them on it because they were afraid that it would affect their edit. Well, as she's going on about this, she goes on about it. She's talking about how this is all just like a sham of a show. She said there were moments where they would sit there for hours and try to film a scene, and production would come and get over one of the housewives' shoulders and whisper something in their ear. And she said 9 times out of 10 that they were whispering in Margaret's ear in order to get her to say something to move the story along. So she's kind of exposing them. And this is the moment that you can tell that you're listening to an ex-housewife that never anticipates on returning to the show, because it's only at this point, this is the point that I'm not coming back. There's not a future for me to come back to the show. Like, Siggy has to know that. That's why she's not holding back. She also said, somebody like me, I've been off the show for 6 years. And in the 6 years that I've been off the show, it's wild. Like, I was just in North or South Carolina the other day with my daughter, and we were walking and we were shopping, and all of a sudden it was like 6 people. 6 people walk up to me and they're like, Siggy, oh my God, Siggy, I love you. Oh my God, send my love to Teresa, Siggy. You were amazing on the show. I love you, but I always loved Teresa more. She was my favorite. And that's what people always say to me. And my daughter asked me, when is this going to stop? I don't know when it's going to stop. It's crazy, but I don't need this. Like, what do I need it for? The fame? It's already fueled the ego. I don't need the money. My husband takes care of me. So listen up, production. What you need to do is hire women who are in their late 30s, early 40s, who are trying to get businesses off the ground, who are not totally financially stable, because then they will give you the drama because they need the show. I feel like they tried that with Leah McSweeney. Leah McSweeney had a business to get off the ground. She didn't have this extravagant lifestyle. But then I think that was part of the problem, because we got so used to seeing Housewives and these lavish lifestyles of like the women pulling up in their Rolls Royces and buying $225,000 Rolexes for their husbands. And it was just another level of wealth that we hadn't seen before. And that's kind of what got us excited, I think, because if I want to see paunchy and broke, I'll just walk around. Like, I'll go look in the mirror. If I want paunchy and broke, I'll go look in the mirror. I'll go say, hi, yes, this is Adam checking in for one mirror, please. You paunchy broke ass. And I don't want to watch myself. I want to watch, I already know what that looks like. I want to see the money. I want to see the lifestyle. I want to live vicariously through the Housewives. So I don't necessarily agree with Siggy on this point. Sorry, Siggy. Really, why is this coming out now? What did I miss? That's a great question. I actually don't know. We all know this stuff about the Housewives. Ebony Dix, Siggy, best intro to Jewish traditions, period. I agree with that. Listen, and I don't actually dislike Siggy. I don't dislike Siggy at all. I don't agree with how she's saying that they should cast for the show, but I liked Siggy on the show. Really. I don't know if you guys know this, but when I did my Spilling Tea Live New York show, Margaret Josephs was on the stage with us. And when she was, we asked her if she could bring back one person, Siggy or Danielle, who would you bring back? And she said, hands down, Danielle all day, never, ever, ever want to be associated with Siggy. She's not a Siggy fan. And I don't think that that comes as like a real big surprise, but hold on. I want to bring up this Teresa thing because now there's more drama. Teresa Giudice now is being slammed by fans for copying her cousin, Kathy Wakili, over cannolis. Guys, we got to get a life here. We got to get a life. Let me tell you why. Hold on, let me play the video first. She started a YouTube channel. She's cooking cannolis. Give it a break. It's not the end of the world. Kathy didn't invent the cannoli. And while I've never tried a cannoli, it's like if I made a pizza, okay? And all of a sudden, me and my brother aren't talking, but my brother just went and he started making pizzas too. I didn't invent the pizza. I just made a better one. So maybe that's all Teresa's doing. Maybe she's just making a better cannoli. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Hold on. Here's the video.
Hi, this is Teresa Giudice. Welcome back. So today we're making dessert. I'm making the holy cannoli cupcakes. So I know it's intimidating making cannoli cream, but it's really easy and cupcakes are fun to make. So let's have fun making them together. Hi guys, it's Teresa Giudice. Welcome.
Welcome back. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I feel like this is just reaching. And if this is coming from the Wakili camp, well, then we're reaching just a little bit too hard because we don't need that. Another situation that's kind of crappy, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw this, but speaking of New Jersey, guys, over 600 in the room, smash that like button and show some love. Joe Gorga is being sued by former attorney for allegedly refusing to pay legal fees in a $6 million real estate deal. Oh, but it's the amount in unpaid fees that gets me on this. My gosh, my DMs are blowing up. I'm sitting there, I'm minding my own business and, you know, just talking to Shaylee and it's Adam. Joe Gorga is being sued. And I'm like, not sued. Sued for what? What's going on? What is he getting sued for? Is it real estate? Is it the pizza oven? Louis? Not Louis. What happened? So I'm sitting there just trying to kind of figure out what happened. And then I'm going through reading. Hold on. In the attorney's June 26th complaint, which was obtained by the US Sun, on June 27th, which was 3 days ago, Alan, who was the attorney, who was reportedly hired by Joe in December of 2020, claims that Joe owes him a whopping $3,337.50 in unpaid fees. Now, Am I dogging on $3,000? No, I would love $3,000. Who wouldn't, right? But when people are saying, oh my gosh, Joe Gorga, on the verge of losing everything over these unpaid fees he is. This is another reach, just like the cannoli queen over here, guys. We gotta stop. Gotta stop reaching for Jersey. Let's kick it over on the West Coast with the OC for now, because this just isn't right. Oh, by the way, before we end up moving on from New Jersey, I wanted to tell you guys one more thing, because everybody was freaking out about this whole PI Bo Dietl situation. And Bethany Frankel actually had an interesting reaction, which sort of went against the cast of New Jersey and the fans. I didn't see this coming, but I'm actually really happy it did. I'm sharing it with you. Bethany Frankel says, thank you, Bravo Housewives on Instagram. If Louis hired an investigator, that it's really smart because no one hides more information than Housewives. She's calling Louis brilliant, saying that he's fighting fire with fire. She also said that she once hired Bo Dietl as well.